Okay, let's talk about a productivity hack that is so simple but so powerful. It can literally change the way you tackle your biggest goals. We're going to break down how to use micro wins to finally beat procrastination for good.
You know the feeling, right? We've all been there. You open up your to-do list, and it's not a list, it's a mountain. That one massive project, that huge goal, it just kind of stares back at you, daring you to start. And what happens? Your brain just shuts down. It's this thing called overwhelm paralysis. The task feels so big, so intimidating, that you have no idea where to even begin. So you don't. You check your phone, you make another coffee, you do absolutely anything except the one thing you're supposed to be doing.
But what if the problem isn't you? What if it's not about your motivation at all? What if the problem is the list itself? This is where we get to a really cool idea, a little something called the productivity twist.
Okay, now this is where it gets kind of wild. It sounds completely backwards, I know. You're telling me the solution to being overwhelmed by my list is to make it longer? Yes, absolutely. Stick with me here, because the secret isn't about doing less. It's about listing more.
So the whole idea boils down to this, the detailed to-do list strategy. This isn't about writing down your big, lofty goals. Nope. It's about taking those goals and breaking them down into the smallest, most ridiculous little pieces you can think of.
And that brings us to our key term for today, micro wins. It's exactly what it sounds like. You take a huge task and you just atomize it. You break it down into the tiniest, most concrete physical actions possible. We're talking super small steps, where each one is its own little victory just waiting for you to claim it.
So why on earth does this actually work? Well, let's get into the simple psychology behind it, because this isn't just some neat little trick. It's a legitimate brain hack. That's right. You know that little jolt of satisfaction you get when you check something off a list? That's not just in your head. Well, okay, technically it is in your head, but it's a real, tangible chemical process. And this is why it's so powerful. Every single time you complete a task, no matter how small, your brain gives you a little hit of dopamine. That's the feel-good chemical that's linked to motivation. So a big, scary task gives you one single chance at that reward, way off in the future. But a long list of micro wins, that gives you a constant, steady stream of these little motivation boosts, building this incredible momentum that makes you want to keep going. Okay, so that's the theory. Sounds pretty good, right? But how do we actually put this into practice? Let's talk about how to build a better, smarter to-do list. Just look at the difference here. The old way is just clean kitchen. Ugh, that feels like a whole afternoon of work. It's vague, it's huge, and it's so easy to put off. But the micro-win way, it's clear counters, load dishwasher, wipe stove. Each one is a specific, manageable 5-minute action. You're not cleaning the kitchen anymore, you're just taking out the trash. And suddenly, you've checked off 5 things, and what do you know? The kitchen is clean. And building your own list is so simple. First, pick that big, scary monster of a task. Then you just ask yourself, what is the absolute very first physical thing I need to do? Not write report, but open laptop. Write it down. What's next? Open new document. Write that down. Keep going like that, and before you know it, that giant mountain has turned into a gentle, walkable path of tiny little pebbles. And when you start doing this, it adds up to so much more than just a clever to-do list. It's a fundamental shift in how you see your work. It's all about harnessing the incredible, motivating power of making progress. And this is maybe the most empowering part of the whole thing. That feeling of being totally overwhelmed by life, it isn't a life sentence. When you focus on these small, actionable steps, you start to realize that getting organized and getting things done, it can actually be pretty simple. So here it is, your new toolkit for beating procrastination. First, you fight that feeling of overwhelm by breaking every big task down. Second, you build a super detailed list of micro wins, not just vague goals. And third, you use every one of those little check marks, those small victories, to build unstoppable momentum. And that's really all there is to it. A simple, powerful way to turn that feeling of paralysis into actual progress. So I'll leave you with this to think about. What's the big, intimidating mountain in your life that you're going to start conquering, one tiny, satisfying pebble at a time?